Okay, hello, and welcome to another edition of Kvizzing with the Comedians. Probably the most special edition in the history of Kvizzing with the Comedians. Let us see why it's so special. Because we now have a brand associated with us. Mad shout out to Flipkart, who have been very, very kind and have graced us with their partnership. So this is Flipkart Presents Kvizzing with the Comedians special edition. We've been looking for a partnership for a long time for Kvizzing with the Comedians, but we finally found a partner who we think is in synergy with what we stand for. Kvizzing is a homegrown brand, just like Flipkart is. We are both focused on innovation and tech and like new things, knowledge, and that's why I always feel like this is the perfect partnership. So shout out to everyone who has been working behind the scene, from the team at Flipkart, from the team at Insider, Meghna and team, and of course OML, and of course Shrimoy, Manav, everyone, Prerna Khatri, PK, Matt, shout out to all of you and your respective teams if I'm missing anyone's name. Thank you for bringing Flipkart on board. That's it. Let's begin the first quarterfinal of this very special edition. I'm going to call the four contestants, the first four contestants. Our first contestant is someone who has been a finalist earlier, more than one time. Give it up for the very first contestant, Sahil Shah.
Hey, what is up? What is up? What is up? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Greetings from Thinking Land. I, the president of Thinking Land, I'm so glad to be here as a brand ambassador of my country. What is up?
Welcome back, Sahil. With that, another contestant who's been on semi-finals quite a few times. Very consistent performer. Always a winner of fun participant. So strong competition in that department as well. Give it up for Saurav.
Woo! Love Flipkart. Flipkart best. Thank you guys. Amazing.
Nice. On that note, our third contestant, who was a finalist in the movies edition, has been great in the general edition as well. Give it up for Smritika Tanmay.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Flipkart is
Talking
great.
of brands, the next contestant is someone who associates with a new brand every single day, because the legend that he's been with us all for Kvizzing brand right from day one. Give it up for Tanmay Bhatt.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Nice to see all of you. KV, loving the new look.
Hello.
Must say,
Thanks.
big fan of Kabir Varun.
Awesome. Okay. All the best, Sahil, Saurav, Sophie, Tanmay. All of you know how this works. Cool. Okay. First quarterfinal. Let's begin. The quarterfinal has 20 questions. 10 Sahil, Saurav, Sophie, Tanmay. Second half, Tanmay, Sophie, Saurav, Sahil. 10 points, 5 points. All of you know the drill. So just shout out to Anshuman and Vineet, who have worked with me on this particular quarterfinal. Okay, cool. First question. This is for Sahil. Okay, Sahil, we are trying to explain something. Okay, according to a popular story, during historical periods like the Renaissance and the Victorian era, clothing was much more complicated and elaborate for women than men. Okay, while rich men often did it all by themselves, their female family members most likely had servants to help them out, both out of luxury and necessity. To make it easier for servants to help these women, there was a small change made. Eventually, as clothing became more and more mass-produced, women's clothes kept being made following the same tradition, and this particular design became standard. This is an explanation of what? Okay, so we're trying to explain a certain design thing that still exists, but the root lies back in the day when women had to be, since their dressing was very complicated, they usually had servants to help them, because of which they had made a certain modification in women's dresses compared to male dresses. That design change still exists. So what are we talking about?
Okay, just give a second.
Yeah. Take your time.
Is this the zip at the back of a dress?
Not the zip at the back of the dress. We are going to Saurav now.
That was my guess. Is it the addition of those hooks?
Not the hooks. Going to Sophie.
And Sahil's answer was my answer too. Is it? My God. Okay. I don't know actually. I mean, I had the same answer, but now I can't think of anything. So I'll just. Does it have something to do with pockets?
Not
Women.
pockets. Going to Tanmay.
You know, as a former woman and as a former wearer of many dresses, I'm disappointed that I do not know the answer to this.
Okay.
I will pass. I will pass unless you give more hints.
Yes, yes. We'll start again. Start with Sahil with more hints. So think shirts. Okay, that's a hint for all four of you. Think shirts and don't think pockets. So think
Okay.
shirts. Think specifically of shirts and think of a design, a difference between a woman's shirt and a men's shirt, the root of which lies here, so that the servant might be easier for a servant to help you wear a shirt if you're a woman.
Just trying to think
Yeah, now
how
give a
a
second.
servant would dress me up today.
Okay. Is it buttons at the back of the shirt?
Yes, that is correct. We are talking about buttons on the opposite side, not really back, but I'll give it to you. We are talking about buttons. Men's and women's clothes, there are button on the opposite sides in women's shirt. The origin lies because it was easier for the servants to button them the opposite side. We're talking about men's and women's clothes button on opposite side. 5 points there to Sahil. And we now go to Saurav for the next question. Saurav, Angel City FC is a national women's soccer league expansion team based in Los Angeles that began play in 2022. The club revealed its crest, as you can see on your screen, featuring an angel with wings inspired by the Southern California red-tailed hawk and shaped to mimic the area's palm trees, with the top of the crest sloping at a 22-degree angle to represent their 2022 entry into the league. The team has a majority female ownership group led by actress X. So she's the major, like she's the leader of the investors. Other members include Serena Williams, Jessica Chastain, America Ferrera, Jennifer Garner, Eva Longoria, Lily Singh, among others. Which Israeli-born American actress are we talking about? Okay, so which actress leads?
Is
the
it my
ownership
all-time
of-
favorite crush, Gal Gadot?
It's not Gal Gadot. Good guess,
my God.
Israel Gal Gadot. Going to Sophie.
Is it Natalie Portman?
It is Natalie Portman.
Nice one,
First
nice
10 points of the group. It is Natalie Portman. Okay, Natalie Portman. That's her in Angel City FC's kit. Super. 10 points there to Sophie. I am now going to Tanmay for the next correct question. Tanmay, I'm talking about a certain trademark, certain painting, certain company. The trademark image comes from a painting by English artist Francis Barraud. It was acquired from the artist in 1899 by the newly formed company and adopted as a trademark. The painting showed a dog, a terrier named Nipper, who was curious about sounds emanating from the then new invention. The dog had originally belonged to Barraud's brother Mark. When Mark Barraud died, Francis supposedly inherited Nipper. Name the painting or the company that owns the trademark.
I really want to get this right because I know it's about dogs and Sahil will get it. And I want to avoid that.
Yeah, take your time. Think of painting with a dog.
It's a
Curious.
dog, more important. It's the invention.
Yeah,
The dog as the trademark. What is an invention in 1899?
And the dog is curious about sounds emanating from the then new invention.
Curious about the sounds emanating from. I'll pass for now.
Okay, okay. Tanmay passes. We go to Sahil.
I know the image exactly. I don't know the name of the painting, but I know the image. So I'm going to go with the. Is it Warner Music Group?
No. Going to Saurav.
Yeah, I know it.
1 second, huh? Pass.
Okay, going to Smritika.
I'll pass. I don't know.
Okay. So we'll give a hint. Start with Tanmay. The hint for all of you is that the new invention we are talking about is a gramophone.
Gramophone. Yeah.
Okay, so think of a gramophone. Think of a dog. Think what company's logo or what comes to your mind. I'm just looking at the company's name. A gramophone and a dog very curious about the sound coming from the gramophone. If all four of you want more hints, I can give more hints. Otherwise,
We want the answer actually. Okay.
Pass.
Okay, going to Sahil.
Man, I'm gonna go with Universal Music.
Not Universal Music. Going to Saurav.
Yeah, I know this image. Okay.
Pass.
Going to Sophie.
I have no clue. I know. I mean, yeah, the image is
Yeah.
vaguely in my mind, but naam to nahi pata. So pass.
Okay, cool. The first unanswered question of the edition. The answer is HMV. Okay, the answer
Ah.
is HMV. His
Oh.
master's
Just
voice.
okay, nice.
HMV, his master's voice, the original painting, and even the current logo has a gramophone and a dog. HMV. Okay, which means I come back to Tanmay for the next direct. Tanmay, we are talking about a bank now. Okay, this bank was founded in 1994. Now let's look at the bank's brand identity. Essentially, the brand is inspired by one of the oldest and greatest civilizations of the world. So the name of the brand comes from one of the oldest and greatest civilizations of the world. It is from here that it also drew on the vibrant symbol of the zebu. Zebu is a subspecies of domestic cattle. So brand, name from a civilization and a cattle. The zebu marks the identity of the brand and its presence can be seen across all brand touchpoints. The brand communicates in burgundy and yellow ochre. So these are the brand colors, burgundy and yellow, its brand colors. Exuding warmth and adding vibrancy, these colors help in creating a strong and a unique brand identity and visual interest across all kind of communications. Which bank founded in 1994 are we talking about? So we are talking about a bank whose name comes from an old civilization. There is a small cattle in the brand communication, and the brand colors are burgundy and yellow ochre.
Got it. So bank. Is it RBS?
Not RBS. Going to Sahil.
IndusInd Bank.
IndusInd Bank.
Oh, yes, of course.
IndusInd Bank. Superb answer. Indus Valley Civilization and Indian Bank founded in mid-90s. IndusInd Bank. That on the right is Zebu, which is cattle.
Got it.
Superb. This is straight 10 points to Sahil Shah. Sahil got IndusInd Bank, so I'm coming to Saurav now. Saurav, what you see on screen is basically an alternate that was created in the US. So seeking an alternative to hard to come by French escargots, chefs at Endpoint's restaurant in New Orleans created this dish, which is basically baked oysters topped with a buttery green sauce and breadcrumbs in 1889. They named it after X, the then richest man in America, on account of the richness of the sauce. What was in doubt though was how the sauce was made. Even today, Antoine's keeps the recipe secret and there are several points of controversy. What I'm looking from you is tell me the person after whom they named this sauce. This sauce is still called egg sauce. And the big hint is that he was the richest man in America then. So 1889, he was the richest man in America.
I'm not sure if the timeline matches, but Rockefeller.
Yes, that is correct. 10 points there to Saurav. It
Nice
was
one.
Rockefeller sauce. Okay, Rockefeller sauce named after John D. Rockefeller, the richest man in America.
Whew, off zero. This
Off
is the
zero.
best. Nice.
10 points to Saurav. And now we go to Sophie for the next direct. Sophie, this is an etymology question, essentially the origin of a certain phrase. Okay, according to some theories, this phrase stems from a particular way food was served to an unwanted guest in medieval England. At the time, it was customary to serve a hot food or roast that was fresh out of the oven. So, the act of serving an inferior cut of meat, such as a dash of mutton to the guest, was an indirect and subtle way to communicate that they had overstayed their welcome and should leave. The first recorded use of the expression was in 1816 by Sir Walter Scott, the Scots language in the Antiquary. Which phrase? Okay, so they had to, it was customary to serve hot food or roast that was fresh out of the oven. So if you ever served an inferior cut of meat, such as a dash of mutton, It was one way to tell them that they had overstayed their welcome, they should leave. Which phrase's origin are we talking about? The dash dash is the answer. So dash dash is the phrase. So looking at
Okay,
a
so it's
two-word
two
answer.
words. Hmm. And is this phrase still in use?
Yes.
Again, those are two words, right?
Yeah. I mean, the phrase usually has something before the two words, but I'm just looking at these two words.
I have no clue. What is an inferior cut of meat? Is it a cold neck of mutton?
No, passing to Tanmay. Good
You
guess.
want them to not enjoy their food. Cold neck is what she said, right? If you want them to not enjoy their food, is it well done?
Not well done. Going to Sahil.
Cold shoulder.
Cold shoulder. You
Cold
give someone
Sorry,
a
shoulder.
Smritika.
cold
Sorry,
shoulder.
sorry.
You give someone a cold shoulder. Okay, this
Oh,
is where
wow. Good guess.
Nice.
cold shoulder. You don't give them hot meat. You give them cold
Yeah.
shoulder. The origin comes when you start ignoring someone. You don't talk to them. You're giving them cold shoulder. Beautiful answer. Sahil gets another 10 points, and I come to Saurav back home, closer home. X deeply resented the way Gandhi brought spiritual sensibility into the political discussion. And he once told Gandhi, he said it was a crime to mix up politics and religion the way he had done. X believed that doing so emboldened religious chauvinists on all sides. He spent the early part of his political career around the time of the First World War, striving to bring together the Muslim League and the Congress Party. He said, and I quote, I say to my Muslim friends, fear not. And he described the idea of Hindu domination as a bogey put before you by your enemies to frighten you, to scare you away from cooperation and unity, which are essential for the establishment of self-government. In 1916, X even succeeded in getting the two parties to present to British a common set of demands, the Lucknow Pact. He was hailed as the ambassador of Hindu-Muslim unity. Okay, who are we talking about?
Sorry, who's the question for?
Saurav.
Is it Ambedkar?
Not Ambedkar. Going to Sophie.
Oh God, I was really hoping or would get it. And I literally remember the Lucknow Pact of कौन था नहीं याद आ रहा. Oh my God. I'll pass.
Sophie passes. We go to Tanmay.
Is it Nehru?
Not Nehru. Going to Sahil.
I have no idea, so I'm going to go with a dumb guess. Is it Jinnah?
It is Jinnah. 10 points there.
Oh,
to
man,
Oh,
that's
shit.
another guess.
That is why, you know, the whole idea of the question is this is not how you remember Jinnah. So for him to resent mixing politics and religion, and then him saying that
Wow.
Nice.
we should all work together, Muslim League, Congress, we should all work together. The answer is Muhammad Ali Jinnah.
Yes.
Super. Now we come to Saurav again. Saurav, I'm talking about a certain company. X is an American research and development biotech company founded in 2013 by Bill Maris, and it's backed by Google with a goal of combating aging and diseases of aging. In Google's 2013 founders letter, Larry Page described X as a company focused on health, well-being, and longevity. The name is an acronym containing the name of the state where the company is headquartered. That's first half of the hint. The second half is that the same word is also a heavy plain woven textile made from unbleached and often not fully processed cotton. It may also contain unseparated husk parts. The fabric is far coarser than muslin, but less coarse and thick than canvas or denim. However, it is still very cheap owing to its unfinished and undyed appearance. This name comes from the name of a city in southwestern India. X. Essentially, what we are saying is it's the same word, but I've given two separate set of hints. One is that it's the name of a company backed by Google. The job of the company is to combat aging and diseases. So it focuses on health, well-being, longevity, etc. The same word is also the name of a textile, and that name comes from a city in southwestern India. The name of the company comes as an acronym of the state where that company is headquartered. What one-word answer are we looking at?
I will need half an hour to go through this. Okay,
Yes,
just
yes.
1 second. It's like one answer makes sense, but then you look at the other hints and you're like, it doesn't add up. But just 1 second, I'll give you.
Time, take it.
This is probably wrong, but like jute.
Not jute. Going to Sophie.
It's still a bunch of options. None of them sound like they could be said by foreigners. Is it Jamdani? I don't know.
No.
I'm just saying fabric names.
Going to Tanmay.
Southwest. I'll pass. Should know this.
Okay.
I'll
Going
pass.
to Sahil.
1 second. No, I'm going to pass.
Okay, we'll take one more round starting with Saurav. So just one random hint, it's also type of a cat, just an extra hint. Okay, so X cat is also a species of cat. Now to this one, the city that we're talking about is in Kerala. Okay, second half, old name, like the classic old name of the city, but all of like most of us also refer to that city till date with that old name. The first is the state from where that name comes, is the state where most tech companies in US are based in. Okay, so think of these three things and try and combine something. For the first half, what I've added is the acronym contains the name of the state. The state is that one state where most tech companies are based out of. The second part, the city in southwestern India is a city in Kerala, and we are talking about the classic name of a popular city in Kerala. And third extra hint I've added is it's also a type of a cat. And the company is backed by Google.
So hang on. The name is an acronym.
Like not exactly an acronym, like in the sense like it's a short version of the state name and company. So you combine the state name, the word company with the company.
Can't think of any fabric. Calicut? I don't know.
Yeah, good track. The city we are referring to is Calicut. So can you now try and crack the company's name?
I have a feeling when the answer is revealed, we'll all be very pissed. Okay.
Yeah. So, sorry, what did you say, KV? Crack the company's name, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Cali Tech.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Going to Sophie. In case someone gives an exact answer, otherwise I'll give you part points and close this.
Is the cat breed hint covered in this, or is that the missing like clue to the right answer?
The what?
Not that I know any cat breeds. No. Anyway, I don't know. Calfin.
Okay, Tanmay.
Is it Caltech?
Okay, Sahil.
Calico.
Calico is the company.
Calico.
California plus company, Calico.
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is a very dumb thing. You're like, no, this is stupid.
Like, what? How did we not get this?
Oh.
Calico, California company, Calicut. Calico is also a textile. Calico is also breed of a cat. So I'm giving, since Sahil got the exact answer, so Sahil needs to get 5, but Saurav brought Calicut in the picture.
Yeah.
So I'm giving 3-2, 3 to Sahil, 2 to Saurav. Okay. Very critical 2 points. And let's see if that matters in the end. Okay, that brings us to the end of the first half. Sahil, massive lead so far. The order now will be Tanmay, Sophie, Saurav, and Sahil.
Guys, the real goal is
Okay,
that combined Smritika, Tanmay, and I, we have to beat Sahil.
Yeah.
Okay? Guys, come on, let's do this.
तुम लोग कर लो.
Okay. Tanmay Devashish Bhattacharya, an alumnus of the National Institute of Design, was the man behind this much-loved creation. He, along with 8 of his friends at NID, were working on a government project in Ahmedabad when he designed the 2 curves depicting the yin and yang, and it ended
Doordarshan.
up being... Yes, that is correct.
Nice,
We're talking
nice.
about
Good one.
Crack. One of the 14 stories that was submitted to his teacher, Vikas Satwalekar, the then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi chose this over everything else. Over the years, it went through some changes from time to time. What iconic creation is being discussed here? The answer is Doordarshan logo.
Man.
Full 10 points there to Tanmay. We are talking about Doordarshan logo. Okay, with Doordarshan, now we go to Sophie. Sophie, I'm again looking at a 2-word answer. This, the dash dash trail, also known as Eurovelo 13, EV13, is a 9,950 kilometers long cycling route covering 20 countries in Europe. Trails have been created and made better suited to cycling with help and finance from the European Union, with historical signposts and markers erected. Which famous unofficial political boundary does this trail run along?
Do you want a very specific answer?
Yes.
Oh, the dash is.
So this is an unofficial political boundary. The dash dash trail, looking at a 2-word answer.
I have a funda in mind, but so this famous unofficial political boundary is the dash dash.
Yes. So the name given to this famous unofficial political boundary, that is the answer.
Is it Allied and Axis Trail by any chance?
No.
Is it division between like Western world and Soviet Union? Iron Curtain?
Beautiful crack.
What a great answer.
Yeah,
What
I
a
knew
great
that.
answer, dude.
I knew it.
Beautiful. Iron Curtain Trail. Okay.
Beautiful.
Wow,
Iron
what
What
an
a great
answer.
answer, man.
Wow, just got lucky because I didn't answer it. Jeez, sort of.
Yes. The Iron Curtain Trail. Iron Curtain, the unofficial boundary between, like Saurav said, Soviet Union and the West. Name given by Winston Churchill, Iron Curtain. Okay, 10 points there to Saurav, which means I go to Sahil now. Sahil, in 1514, Diego Velázquez founded the city called San Cristobal de la Dash, which meant Saint Christopher of the Dash, and it later became the capital of the country. Dash, which is the city name, Dash was also the name of the local people group. It is not clear where the name derived from, but it's theorized that it derived from this Habaguanex, which was a chief of the Native American tribe. When Dash was borrowed into English, the B was switched to a V. Okay. Which capital city's name, that is also a type of a color and a type of a rabbit, are we talking about? So what I'm looking from you is a capital city name.
Okay, just now give a second. Diego Velázquez founded the city. Sorry, just 2 minutes, huh? If you don't mind. Too much to absorb. Type of color. No.
Are you passing, Sai?
Just if you can give me 10 seconds more, I'll just quickly give it one last try. Okay.
Yeah, I thought you said no. So.
No, I was saying myself. Just 10 seconds and then I'll. Pass.
Okay, going to Tanmay.
Pass.
Going to Sophie.
Is it Oaxaca by any chance?
Which one?
Oaxaca in Mexico. No, wrong.
No, passing to Saurav.
Pass, buddy.
Okay. We'll now go to Sahil for the next round. Okay. The hint is it's a type of a rabbit, type of a color, and also type of a cigar. Okay. Then we'll start with Sahil whenever he's ready.
Okay. Havana.
Havana. That is correct. 5 points there to Sahil.
What color is Havana?
Yeah, what color is Havana?
Havana color. You guys don't know?
What is on which rabbit is Havana?
Yeah.
What type of color is Havana? KV replied saying Havana color. Thank you. Thank you.
And then he judged us. You guys don't know?
It just
No.
it
Havana
changes the meaning now of Havana Una Na. I'm just imagining a rabbit in that song.
Havana color is that very dark brown, almost black type of a color. But yeah.
I was so blank when he said cigar. I was like classic wild. I had no idea.
Okay. So basically,
Yeah, cigar.
Habaguane became
Sure.
Habaguane became anglicized to Havana. And yeah.
Okay.
Cool. 5 points there to Sahil. And we now go to Tanmay. The answer is Havana. Sorry. Maybe we are talking about certain company name. Okay. This company is named after a fictional trusty valet and not a butler. Okay. Apparently named after the fictional trusty valet, not a butler. That is, he is responsible for serving an individual, whereas a butler is responsible for a household and manages other servants. This after-sales service and installation business was one of the largest service providers in the Indian electronics and large appliances space. At a time, after-sales service and installation were predominantly handled directly by brands. With the acquisition of this company, Flipkart as an e-tailer made a strategic investment in this space. What is the name of this company which takes us back to early 1900s London? Okay, let's look at the hint. We are talking about a certain company in Indian space. Essentially, earlier what used to happen is once you buy an appliance from an online portal like Flipkart, the service is handled by the brand like Samsung or Mitsubishi or whatever. X was a company that specialized in after sales and installation. So Flipkart acquired it, and now Flipkart provides its customers with after sales services. Okay, which is a very unique thing. Now that company name is named after a fictional trusty valet, okay, from early 1900s London. So what is the name of that company / name of the character? Both are the same.
Is it Urban Clap?
Not Urban Clap. Going to Sophie.
I do not know. I'll pass.
Okay, passing to Saurav.
Pass.
Passing to Sahil.
I may be wrong, but is it Ask Jeeves?
I'll give it to you. I was looking for Jeeves. I was only looking for Jeeves.
Hmm.
Okay, Jeeves is the company name. Jeeves, of course, is the character from P.J. Woodhouse's short stories. Jeeves. Okay, 10 points there to Sahil. Jeeves is correct.
He also formed Jeeves and Sati, ballet marriage service for. Forget, I gave up. Halfway through only, I gave up. I didn't even commit.
Minus 10.
I didn't even
Minus 10
commit.
immediately.
Okay, back to the contestants for the last lap, last quarter. Last correct answer was Jeeves by Sahil. So going to Tanmay now. Tanmay, we're talking about two countries right now. Simon Kuznets was an American economist and statistician who was awarded the Nobel Memorial Prize in Economic Sciences in 1971. He's best known for the Kuznets curve, which describes the relationship between economic growth and inequality. Now, this is one of his most famous sayings. He said, there are four types of countries in the world: developed country, underdeveloped country, X, nobody knows why it grows, and Y, nobody knows why it doesn't. Now, let's look at X and Y. X, the first company, which nobody knows why it grows, is an example of a relatively backward economy that had undergone massive industrial expansions in its efforts to match the West. Whereas Y, nobody knows why it doesn't grow. Y used to be one of the richest countries in late 19th and early 20th century, but has seen massive stagnation and decline in the recent past. Okay, which two countries are we talking about?
Which two types of countries or which two countries?
No, which two countries? Like two very specific countries.
X is China,
Okay.
is my guess. I'm not saying it is.
And why?
Oh, okay. No, this is probably not China then. Hang on. So I think X is Japan.
Yeah, okay.
X is Japan. Y is China.
So I'm giving 5 points to you. X is Japan. Okay. Your final answer, you said X is Japan, Y is China.
Yeah.
X is
Yeah.
Japan. Points for that. I'm going to Sophie now, only for Y. Okay. Y is the country that used to be a rich country in late 19th and early 20th century. But of late, it has seen massive stagnation and decline. X is Japan. So only for Y.
Is it Russia by any chance?
Not Russia. Going to Saurav.
Is it like United Kingdom?
Not UK. Going to Sahil.
Could be wrong. Is it India?
Not India. Okay, we'll take one more round starting with Tanmay, only for Y. So Y, the hint for all four of you is think South America. Okay, and we'll start with Tanmay.
Pass.
Passing to Sophie.
Just basing a guess off of stagnation and decline. Is it Venezuela?
Not Venezuela. Going to Saurav.
Brazil?
Not Brazil. Going to Sahil.
Cuba?
Not Cuba. Okay.
Pura South America we covered now.
Except Japan is Y is Argentina.
Oh.
Oh.
Argentina's economy has been in shambles over last decade, more than a decade. And this whole thing that it was used to be so rich that Argentina name comes from silver, you know, Ag, argon, so, like from basically silver it comes. And now they are at this state. So that's
the big hint for Japan was the word nobody knows.
Yeah.
So nobody knows. I was like, probably Japan.
Okay, only 5 on this question. 5 went to Tanmay for Japan. No one got point for Argentina, which means next direct will be to Sophie. Sophie, I'm talking about a song and an artist. Okay, X, Canadian singer's monster hit Y. So X and Y. So Y is the song, X is the artist. Was specifically written for the 1991 movie Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. But he had to compete with the likes of Annie Lennox, Kate Bush, and Peter Cetera for the job. Michael Kamen, the composer for the film, thought X had enough roughness and edge to make the ballet compelling and romantic without becoming saccharine. He said, and I quote, "I write sweet melodies and sometimes they need someone to deliver them with enough authority to make sure you don't fall asleep." It worked. X and super producer Mutt Lange wrote the lyrics in roughly 45 minutes to fit with Kamen's orchestration, and the song went on to become one of the best-selling singles of all time, as well as a wedding staple for the entirety of the 90s. Okay, which song and who is the singer?
This will be one of those songs that you've heard a million times, but you can't think of right now. Is it Ain't No Mountain High Enough?
And the
I-
artist?
I can't remember the name of the artist.
No. Going to Saurav. No on the song also, just to clarify, not the right song. Going to Saurav.
I don't know. I'm just taking a guess of the artist. Brian Adams.
Yes, that is correct. Brian Adams is correct.
और कोई है ही नहीं rough singer.
Yes.
Or plus Canadian, I just know him
Yeah.
only. And then song I have to.
Yeah.
1 second. I just can't remember. Of course. I can't remember any other song. Summer of '69. I'm just taking it. It's wrong.
Summer of '69 in a wedding would be.
I know it's wrong, but I just can't remember that song.
Okay, going to Sahil now.
Everything I do it for you.
Everything I do it for you. That is correct. Was originally meant for Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. If Brian Adams, everything I do it for you. Splitting between Saurav for Brian Adams and Sahil for the song. 5 each. 5
Summer of
Saurav.
'69 is hilarious as a wedding. Those were the best.
Yeah, especially when he's saying you told me you will wait forever. शादी पे बज रहा है.
Okay. So Sahil and Saurav get 5 each for Brian Adams and everything I do it for you. Going to Tanmay for next direct. Tanmay, between 1991 and 2002, Sierra Leone was involved in a long spate of internal civil war. During this period, the United Nations had to deploy a large force here for the sake of maintaining peace. Bangladeshi peacekeepers formed the largest part of the UN force in the Republic, and their contributions in battling rebel forces was of great significance to the relation that went on to be celebrated between Bangladesh and Sierra Leone. At the start of this century, how did Sierra Leone appreciate the struggle of Bangladesh? So they did something to appreciate all the help that they've gotten from Bangladesh in their country. What do you think they did to honor their help?
Visa on arrival.
No, not visa on arrival for Bangladesh. Going to Sophie.
बहुत अच्छा आंसर था पर यार वही होना चाहिए. Did they? I just said did they and take a long pause, but I don't know the answer. I'll pass.
Okay, going to Saurav.
Did they make Bengali an official language?
What a great answer. Full 10 points.
Wow!
इसका फायदा क्या है? Visa on arrival कर लेते. It would have been easier.
That's the Bengali to know this.
Yeah.
In 2002, Bangla was announced as one of the official languages in the
Nice.
Republic of Sierra Leone.
Very nice.
Beautiful answer by Saurav Mehta. With that, we are going to Sahil for the last question of this quarterfinal. Sahil, again, talking about a certain company, American company. The founder said that he named the company X because he wanted a nonsense word, because I wanted to build a brand from scratch. So I was watching Fellini's 8.5, which is a movie, Fellini's 8.5, and writing down what I was hearing. In Italian, you say X a lot. It means, oh yes. And in Latin and French, it means what if. And in Greek, X means just because. Which American company which focuses on handmade or vintage items and craft supplies are we talking about?
Okay, wait. Made of vintage items and craft supplies. Handmade of vintage. No, I'm going to pass. I can't think.
Okay. Going to Tanmay.
Fuck, I know the name. I know it. It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm going to pass. I know the name, but...
Passing to Sophie.
So irritating.
Something C. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will pass as well.
Going to Saurav.
Is it Etsy?
It is Etsy.
Oh, nice, nice,
God,
nice.
Fantastic.
Man.
Nice one.
It is
So
Etsy.
irritating.
Cool. Okay. That brings us to the end of the first quarterfinal. Let's look at the score. Sahil had 38 after the first half. Second half, he got 5 for Havana. He got Jeeves 10 points and 5 again for everything I do. I do it for you. Sahil ends on 63.
Okay.
Okay, Saurav had 12, but he had an incredible second half. He had 10 for Iron Curtain. He got 5 for Brian Adams. And then he got 10 each for Bangla as an official language in Sierra Leone and Etsy. So 35 plus 12, Saurav ends on 47. Sophie had 10 in the first half, couldn't get anything in the second half. Sophie gets 10 points. And Tanmay had a reverse fortune. He had nothing in the first half, but second half was much better with 5 on Japan and 10 for Doordarshan logo. Tanmay ends on 15. From this quarterfinal, who qualify for semi-final as the winner of the first quarterfinal, first of all, is Sahil Shah.
Thank you, thank you,
And
thank
the
you.
runner-up,
Hey, well played, guys. Well
Thank
played.
you.
Saurav Mehta. And thank you so much to Sophie for being here right from the first edition to this, and also, of course, to Tanmay for always saying yes and coming.
Thank you.
People who are
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gaby. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Tanmay.
chat.
Thank you.
Thank you,
KV.
guys. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.